Hey y'all, what is going on? This is Jesse Boats from the 19th hole. This is going to be the rookie guide for the upcoming fall major tournament. So in this video, we'll talk about these holes 1 through 9. We'll talk about the routes that you can play on the holes. We'll talk about the club and the ball usage. We'll talk about the elevation changes. Other things we may talk about as well will be different ways you can play these holes depending on the type of wind that we have. In the rookie division, we normally have fairly predictable winds, usually going to be some sort of a side wind or a tailwind. So hopefully, with knowing that moving forward, we can kind of get you all on the good path to be prepared for your tournament on Monday. That's when qualification begins. If you all could do me a favor, look here at the bottom of the screen here. These are the information to my social media outlets. So if you want to contact me on Facebook, you can do that with one at the top. And then if you want to follow me on the Twitter or the Snapchat, you can follow me through those two names right there. As always, if you're not part of the 19th hole on Facebook, I encourage you to become part of that group. We just hit over 7,000 members. And we do filter our members. So if you try to join, make sure you answer those 3 questions to receive access. So give me a minute and we're going to start this guide. All right, so we're going to start out here with hole number 1. And this is a hole that we've seen many times before. For the rookies, you have a couple of different options. And if we have a nice tailwind, the main option you're going to have is just going straight down the right side. So extra mile, big topper would work with this hole. I would recommend though that you do use a ball according to the club that you have. So if you don't have a very strong driver, then you may want to consider using a higher level power ball, because it is important to get the ball down the fairway. So off the tee box, we want to get the ball, and we're going to change the color on that. Let's find something white. There we go. So you want to get the ball down the fairway here. There we go. So you want to get the ball down the fairway here. It's going to be bouncing in this general location. And we have a right to left slope on this fairway. A right to left slope, so you might want to use a little bit of right spin to keep the shot away from this left side. You want the ball to go down the fairway, and you really want to get down to into this zone right here. We want to keep to the right side of that line, because then we don't have to worry about these trees here if we do hit our drive too short. For the second shot, you're going to be most likely going to be a long iron. There may be some people that maybe try to pull out a power 5 ball and get to within short iron distance, but for the most part, a majority of you all will be using your long iron from this area right here. And it's just going to be a simple shot towards the hole. I would play plus 10% on the shot, and it's usually going to be somewhere between probably 2 to 4 bars of backspin. And I would just aim that shot pretty close to the hole. Depending on how much backspin you use, you're going to offset your shot short of the hole or much closer to the hole. And in my opinion, in the rookie, that's probably the best way to get the eagle on this hole. And for a large majority of you, that's how you will play this shot. Now, there are a few other ways to play this hole. You can play it to the left side as well. And if you're going to play it to the left side, you're going to be playing a plus 20% for your elevation. Now, the way you play this shot is you're bouncing it through these trees here. And you either want to hit right on the edge of that rough or hit the fairway, but you want to roll out down to this zone right here. And it's important that you roll out left, because if you get stuck up here to the right, then you have these trees in the way. So you definitely want to make sure that you try to play that shot to roll it out, and then from there you have a little bit of a long iron shot right here where you skip it over the bunker in towards the hole. Now if you are playing that shot, it will change your spin depending on what kind of a wind you have. If you have a tailwind, you're just going to use probably about 0.5 to 1 bar of topspin. If you have some sort of a crosswind, then you're looking at somewhere between 1 to 1.5 bars of topspin. And 1 bar topspin in a crosswind. If you have a headwind, then you're looking from about 1.5 to 2 bars of topspin. So you're just going to play that shot pretty much right at the pin as well for that shot, and then that second shot is plus 10%. That's how you would play that second shot. You can possibly play like, a quarterback or something like that to try to bounce it right here and roll it down this hill as well to get to that same position. I used it a few times in the last tournament. I don't know that it's as great of a route in the rookies, but it's definitely something to think about. Also, I have seen some people starting to play shots where they just try to get into this zone right here, and then they're taking a shot straight to the green and using the slope of this green to bring the ball back down to the hole. And that would require a wood club, like probably a sniper, but you would want to have some backspin on that shot for sure. And that would also be a plus 10% for that shot as well. Alright, hole number 2, plus 30% on the drive here off the tee box. You have 2 options here. You can either play a long iron club for here, or you can go for the rough bump right here. In the rookie, you're going to want to play either of these shots. Sorry. With, especially the left side shot, the rough bump, with at least a side spin 2, if not a side spin 3 ball. I really like the katana for that shot. And it seems like the closer you land it to the edge of the rough, it gives you the better chance of getting the ace. Now, if you want to play the shot off the fairway, you would play that shot with the long iron, and the elevation would stay the same. So you would be playing probably somewhere between 2 to 3 bars of backspin on that shot, and it's definitely a possible shot to play. If you watch my rookie video that I put out with the holes, I actually do ace this shot, and so that's definitely another method to play this hole as well from the front tees. But I think the approach that gives you the absolute best chance at the ace is probably the rough bump. But it's one of those shots that I think you shouldn't try to really play unless you have the sniper, because you do want that ball guide to help you out with that shot. So if you don't have a sniper in the rookie, then I would stick to the shot off the fairway with the long iron. And for that shot, I like the backbone for that shot. Gives you better accuracy, and it's just an all-around good club to use for that particular shot. Hole number 3. In the rookie, I really only see one path forward for this shot. Off the tee box, we're playing 0% for the drive. And either, you are going to play this shot with a big topper, in which case you would bounce it before the fairway here and try to get maximum roll. Or if you have the extra mile and we have a nice tailwind, then you can play this shot to bounce over the rough. And if you can play your shot with the extra mile over the rough, I would suggest play it that way. If you don't feel comfortable with that shot with a little bit of overpower, then you can play with the big topper and just play the maximum topspin. You really want to try to get down into this zone right here, no matter which way you play the shot, either before the rough or after the rough, because from there, you're going to give yourself a chance to play at the green with a long iron. And in my opinion, the Saturn is going to be your best long iron to take, because I really like going directly at the hole with the Saturn on that shot. Plus 10% for the second shot. If you don't want to play with the Saturn, or you don't get far enough up the fairway, in which case then I would take your wood club with the most backspin, which would be like the Guardian, or whatever club else you have if you don't have the Guardian that has the most backspin. In that case, you're really going to be hard pressed to hold the shot out, and at that point it really becomes more of a just make sure I get my eagle approach. So you would land the shot off the front of the green, and then you would use this back slope here and as much backspin as you can to make sure that ball stops and then rolls back down to the hole. Definitely still have an outside chance of dropping it for the albatross, even playing it that way as well. If you don't want to play your shot over the bunker, then you can try to land your shot somewhere in this zone right here with max backspin and left spin. Or at worst case, just play the shot up here along the side of the green right here for a small wedge chip to the hole for your eagle. Basically what I'm saying is make sure you get your eagle here. If you have yourself a chance to go for the albatross, that's definitely a bonus in the rookie, but do not miss out on that eagle. Hole number 4, par 3, and this is another hole that I aced on my video pre-guide that I put out the other day. And in the rookie, I really think the only way to play this hole is off the front right here. Would be a bounce right in that area. So for the shot, I would play this shot. It's going to be with a long iron in the rookie for sure. And you're going to be using somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 1 to 2 bars of top spin. And I would definitely use at least a side spin 2 ball, if not a side spin 3 ball, because you do want to use that right spin as well. Because you're bouncing over the bunker, you're going to bounce here right on the fairway, just past the edge of the rough, and then you're just going to roll that shot to the hole. Good chance for an ace here, even from the first tee. And if you want to go back and watch my other video that I put out a few days ago, I show you in detail how I made that ace. So for the drive, it is plus 10% elevation for this shot. And you may be seeing some people in the rookie with better level clubs that may attempt to play this rough bump here with the sniper, and that is definitely a possibility. But in my opinion, it's going to be a very small percentage of people trying that shot. So if you don't have the clubs to do it, then yeah, definitely stick to the long iron approach, going with the bump over the bunker, and try to dial that one in for your ace attempt. For your club of choice, I would probably say the Goliath for this shot right here. That's going to be a Goliath shot. That would be a sniper shot. Hole number 5, and this one right here off the tee box, 0% elevation change. What we're trying to do here in the rookie is you're going to be landing your shot somewhere in there, right in that zone right there. Now you have 2 options. You can either go for a overpower shot with full topspin and try to get the shot through here and down this hill into this zone right here. Or, what's that? Sorry about that. Or you could play just a regular, shot where you're laying it here and just trying to bounce up into this area right here. We'll see what the wind looks like, and then that will basically tell us, what we're going to try to do on this shot. Absolutely, if we can get the shot down to that lower level, that wedge chip to the hole is definitely much better than this short iron chip down to the green. So if you got to play the short iron chip down to the green, it's plus 30% for the elevation for that shot. So hopefully we can get that shot down there to the green and just have that wedge chip as opposed to that 30% massive downhill shot to the green. Another way you can play this shot from up top is right about in here, and you bounce it over that bunker and towards the hole. That's definitely another option that you have as well. And you could also, bump up to, a higher level power ball on this drive, just to give you a little bit more option as far as, getting your drive farther up this fairway to give you a better shot at getting down that hill. So that's definitely, something to consider as well when you are thinking about this shot. If you're not really concerned about getting down that hill, then I would just say, katana ball would probably work. But if you are, definitely thinking about that Titan ball or even maybe higher to give yourself that best opportunity to get down that hill and give yourself a chance for that eagle chip, this could definitely be a hole where you could steal steal a stroke on the rest of the field. Hole number 6 is next, and we're playing plus 20% off the tee box here. Titan ball, at least a power 3 ball, in my opinion, for the rookie. You're playing your shot here, where you're going over the rough, bouncing, and then rolling up the fairway as best as you can. Depending on the wind, you may have to take some sort of like a double bounce to get to that second fairway. But I'm pretty sure in the rookie division with the tees farther up, I'm pretty sure we don't have to worry about that, and it is just a single bounce over the rough. Do want to make sure that you don't use too much topspin. I think the only way that you would risk going into the rough here is if you had like max level clubs in the rookie, or if you use like a higher level ball like a power 4 or a berserker or something like that. So I think for the most part, we're going to be pretty safe in the rookie as far as not rolling through that fairway into the rough. So for the second shot, we'll be playing the rough bump to right here. And whether or not you have the Horizon, which has a good ball guide, or you have the Sniper, which has preferred ball guide, you could also use the Viper or even the Big Dog as well. I think the Big Dog would be the safest club to use, but it's going to give you the lowest amount ball guide wise. So definitely use that wood club for that second shot. That's going to give you the best opportunity to drop that albatross. And for that shot, you're going to be using somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 3 bars of topspin. And you want to aim pretty much straight at the hole and minus 10%. It's one of those weird shots. It definitely looks downhill still, at least to my eyes, but it definitely plays minus 10%. If you go back and watch the video that I put out in the rookie, you see on my shot I played it perfectly with the adjustment, and I ended up right of the pin, even on a perfect adjustment. So that tells me, I played at plus 10%. That tells me there was a severe over adjustment on that shot, and it all makes sense. We have been playing this shot at this, minus 10, minus 15% here the last few tournaments. So yeah, second shot that way, minus 10%. If you don't want to be risky, you can just play a shot where you skip it over the rough and towards the hole that way as well. Definitely greatly lessens your chance at the albatross, but then increases your chance to not mess up for the eagle either. So definitely one of those decisions that you have to make along the way. I guess, there is definitely this little more conservative route to play the shot more to the right here as well. And then from there, you could play either a Big Dog where you rough bump it here, or if you have a Guardian, you could play a shot over here with backspin and left spin, take it back down to the hole, because this does slope, down towards the hole right here. So just keep that in mind. But I think the left side approach is definitely the way to go here, because as I say, you can't give up chances at albatrosses in the tournament. That's your money maker. That's the way you bump up the scoreboard, is getting that albatross. So when the course gives you a chance at the albatross, I think you've got to go for it. I just think you've got to go for it. Alright, we got hole number 7 here. And this par 3, I would probably consider the toughest par 3 on the course, and probably not one that you're going to see a lot of aces on. You have the choice to play it either to the left side or to the right side. And I've always played this one at plus 10% for the tee shot each way. Now, if you're going to play the shot to the left side, you're going to need a wood club with at least 4 bars of backspin. And, that's at minimum 4 bars of backspin. You play your shot to this area of the fairway, and then you'll use the left to right slope of the green to try to roll it into the hole. In my opinion, from the first tee, this is not the better way to try to get the ace, but it's definitely an option, especially if you have like a Guardian with even more backspin. Definitely may be something to think about. The way I would suggest playing it is going to be to the right side with the backbone, and you're going to be laying your shot into this area right here, and it's difficult because the spin that you're going to play will definitely depend on the wind that you see for the shot. So you're going to be looking at pretty much anywhere between 3 bars of left spin to max left spin, and it really depends on how you really want to approach this hole. Do you want to try to, approach it more of a straight on towards the hole? Some people play this shot kind of up this hill and down the slope, back down to the hill as well. So depending on which way you want to play the shot will definitely depend on the spins that you use. You do have a right to left slope right here that the ball lands on, so you kind of get that push no matter what, and you still need left spin to really line this shot up at the hole. As far as like topspin and backspin goes, this is not a shot where I would use a lot of topspin. I would use somewhere probably between 0 to 1 bar of topspin. And the only way to use the topspin is if you had like a side wind or a headwind or something like that, which I doubt we get in the rookie division. So it's very important to have a ball with a decent amount of side spin. So, Quasar and Katana ball would definitely be the best balls to go with on this hole. And it's definitely a difficult hole, and not one that I expect to see a lot of aces on. And just want to make sure you do get the birdie and give yourself a chance at the hole-in-one, obviously. Moving on, we got hole number 8. We'll talk about the conservative approaches on this hole first. If you have a right to left tailwind, you can play the shot to the left. You want to get your shot up into this area of the fairway. Or you can play the shot to the right if you have a wind more fitting for going to the right. Going left, just want to make sure you get past that line of trees so that you do have a shot down towards the hole. As far as the elevation goes, we're playing 0% on the drives no matter which way you play this hole. And for the second shot, we're playing plus 30% on this shot. It's a very drastic downhill shot. In my opinion, it's definitely, not the way to play the hole if you're trying to go for the eagle. I think your eagle chances are very low playing it to the left or to the right. And if you want to try to go for the eagle, my advice is to go with a wood club. A driver that has lots of topspin. The big topper definitely comes to mind right away for this hole. And you'll be playing your landing zone right in here. And you're going through these trees. You want your next bounce to be on the rough. And then from there, you're going to roll your shot out. 0%, you'll play that shot. And you're going to have to play that shot with probably like either level 0 or a level 1 power ball, just because of the issues with going in between clubs, specifically depending on what kind of a wind you have. If you have a headwind, then you'll be okay. But if you have like a tailwind or a tail side wind, then you will run into those issues of that big topper trying to go back to the wood right there along the edge of that bunker line. So definitely keep that in mind and make sure that you do have the right ball, or at least a plan in place to switch balls if you're unable to make that adjustment. So anyways, getting down here to the fringe here just sets you up with a very nice little chip for the eagle. And that's the best way to play this hole, in my opinion, is the topspin approach, which you need at least 6 bars of topspin. So, play accordingly to what you have in your bag. Hole number 9, our last and final hole. And on the rookies, I think playing the rough bump here is your best choice. 3 to 4 topspin and left spin. You're going to roll your shot just out into this fairway. You want to get as close to the edge of that fairway without going into the rough. And that's going to be the best way to play this hole, in my opinion. And as far as the elevation goes, on the drive, we're playing a plus 10%, playing it to the right side. I would definitely recommend also going with the Titan ball as well. And then for your wood club, I would look at going with, I would say probably your either Viper or your Guardian or your Big Dog, because I like the Big Dog in the rookie because you want to be able to land your second shot to this next fairway. You don't want to have to worry about skipping your shot off that platform and down. You really lower your chances of getting yourself in position for the eagle, in my opinion, when you do that. So it's better to be able to fly your shot over the rough, land it in this next fairway, and then with 2-3 topspin, you can roll your shot through, and then hopefully maybe up the hill and back down to the hole, or maybe you can just hole it out for the albatross. But, you still put yourself in position for a really good, solid eagle chance playing it that way. And if you can, you can possibly play the Viper or the Guardian there. Just depends on the wind that we have for the second shot as well, and just really what you're going to need to get that shot to the position that you need to get it to. For the second shot, I would play somewhere between 0 and -5% on that shot. It kind of feels 0 to me. I know some other individuals that have said -5 works well as well. So just play that one by ear. Maybe test out each of the elevation changes and see what works best for you. And it definitely could depend on what type of wind we have. If we have a straight tailwind, probably more towards the -5% would be nice, and hopefully we can get that one dialed in. The other way to play this hole would be to the left side, and that would be, in my opinion, would be more of the big topper shot. So big topper with max topspin. You bounce it over the rough, you're going to hit here, and then just going to roll up the fairway. Trying to get as far up the fairway as possible. And I would definitely play with a Titan ball, no doubt, on this hole as well, going to the left side as well. So for the second shot, you're going to be playing either off the rough bump here, or you're going to be playing a shot off the fairway here and trying to roll it through. So I would play those at 15 to 20% elevation change on those shots for playing it to the left second shot. All right, so trying to see if there's anything else to say here. If you play the rough bump, you're going to be playing somewhere in the neighborhood of 3, 4, 5 bars of topspin to make sure you get that to the green. And definitely, you can use the back of the green here as a backstop as well, because anything that rolls up to the back of the screen is probably going to stop and then roll back down the hill. So don't be scared to put a little bit extra topspin or play it a little bit more aggressively than you may think, because you definitely don't want to come up short. You don't want to play light and end up in the bunker or in this rough right here, because then you go from possible albatross chance to yikes, maybe a birdie. So definitely, it's okay to go a little bit more aggressively at this green. All right, y'all, thank you very much. That was the rookie guide. Hopefully all helps you out a little bit. If not, maybe just kind of setting you in the correct direction for this upcoming tournament and refreshing your mind on these holes, which some of y'all may have only seen some of the holes and not seen others. And some of y'all probably have seen these holes multiple times in the previous tournaments. So thank you all very much. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, definitely would appreciate that subscription for sure. Definitely check out the notification settings in the channel to make sure you receive updates when I do release new videos. I'll go live, all that fun kind of stuff during tournament week. All right, y'all, take care. Have a good day. God bless.